The black man is doomed to a life of pain and suffering, the consequence of accepting last place when humanity went racing. Here we are now, slaving away in unfamiliar territory. I doubt if we would even survive to tell the story, our story, of how we were snatched away from unsuspecting Mama Africa, of our lives and dreams were cut short by the sharp blades of man's cruelty and greed, of how Africa's strength and beauty was sentenced to sing sad slave songs while we work all day long. Hope is but a meaningless four-letter word to us, for at the end of this tunnel is no end at all, because it goes on and on and on. Blood, sweat and tears, hopelessness, depression and fear, words that make up our everyday lives. I curse the day the white man anchored on our shores. Our fathers shouldn't have welcomed them with open arms, but with swords too. Never mind. I guess it's too late for should haves and had I known. Fate, it seems, would have us in this situation forever, until the awakening of the black man's mind to the realization that he wasn't created to be trampled underfoot, but to stand shoulder to shoulder with any man, irrespective of race, irrespective of color. This great awakening spells the beginning of a new era, the era of freedom.
At long last, the battle has ended. And thus, Ghana, your beloved country, is free forever.
Freedom at last. After centuries, slavery and colonialism are now things that we can confidently call the past. The present, however, leaves us with questions. Are we truly free, or have we just changed masters? Did we just hop out of the frying pan of the white man's control, only to fall into the fires of a backward mentality? The richest continent when it comes to natural resources, undoubtedly. But the irony of being the poorest continent in spite of this is a slap to the face of our freedom, so-called. It's a shame. It's a shame that we can't even see past superficial differences. Countless wars this inability of ours has ignited. Must we revert to the red devils of slavery and colonialism to keep the black man united? I said, must we revert to the red devils of slavery and colonialism to keep the black man united? Ladies and gentlemen, these are but a few question marks that remain hanging over Africa's freedom. Behold, the present, the present, the present, the present.
The present, he says, and we call this freedom. And see, we actually profess liberty. Will someone lend me spectacles? Because all I can see is a spectacle of a chameleon moved from chains to a cage, and it thinks it's free because its environment has changed and its skin color is not the same. See, the story of an animal taken out of chains only to be put in the zoo when it thinks that's cool, says who? And I still remember those words, that at long last the battle has ended. And so Ghana, our beloved country, is free forever, says who? And oh yes, I remember that verse that says that the independence of Ghana is not complete until it's linked with the total liberation of the African continent. And yes, that's true. Because indeed, Ghana is free forever. But tell me, are Ghanaians free forever? Well, that's yours to answer. But remember that Ghana was born on the 6th of March 1957, its birthday. But see, no one is declared free on his birthday unless, of course, it's his 18th birthday, even then. His parents remain responsible until it's payday. And so I think you should hold on till Ghana begins working out its own economic meltdown, and then we can start celebrating May Day. Because the only understanding I have of Africa's independence is Africa in dependence on donors in silence. So grant me audience to put an end to this suspense. See, the problem of Africa begins from our schools, where we are taught to draw the map of Africa without Madagascar. And see, that is the easiest way to teach someone not to adhere to unity right from JHS 1. Well, I'm here to question. Because the map of Africa is in itself a question mark. So mark this, that the African mind holds the marking scheme to Africa's test. If only we can stop the exam or practice of copying blindly, frankly. See, the future tense of the African story depends on the present turns in the African trajectory, but in simple terms, what am I saying? See, I'm saying that Africans should stop diverting responsibilities to governments when actually the word government broken down into syllables reads, govern me not. And so enough. Enough of looking down upon everything black, attributing it to lack, slack, back, calling it whack, creating dark perceptions of ourselves. Haven't you heard of black beauty or blackberry? And so the next time someone tries to look down upon you, tell him what it means to have a black belt. Or else, when people hoist the white flag, we wouldn't know that they surrender. So Ghana, it's high time we... And yes, see, speaking about time, see, UK began to think that we are on different time zones because we are always 3 hours behind. I mean, you ask a Ghanaian for time to schedule a meeting and he goes like, let's make it 3:34, 4:35. Between 5 and 6 there, we should have started latest by 7. But if by 8 I'm not there, then probably I won't come again. Oh my. I mean, if our coats of arms were honest, instead of freedom and justice, they'll read call to glory, because Ghana is late. And see, our weather has become an honest response to the system, and so the forecast of a meteorologist only reflects the delay in our human existence. For Christ's sake, 5 o'clock a.m. in our local parlance only means 5 o'clock and more, and 6 p.m. is just another acronym for 6 o'clock plus more, the Ghanaian made time, GMT. And so like I was saying, that it's high time we and oh yes, see, speaking about we we as Africans have to close our eyes to the UNI in unity and begin to perceive the UN only, United Nations. Because however you see it, there is a fusion in confusion, but it only takes a few to diffuse this. And see, it's politics, and so let's leave it at that, and not an extension to politics, where the only part of a citizen's body that matters to the flag bearer is not the heart, but the thumb. See, no more. No more should we succumb to the devices of leaders and their vices who do not care a hoot about social vices. I mean, a school of thought I enrolled in says, and I share, that our human hair doesn't grow. It's running, trying to escape the evil stored up in our minds. For see, as long as those at the top have generators, they don't give a damn if power is not generated for the next generation. See, they don't give a damn about the dumb. I mean, what is noise to the deaf, if not silence? So let us stop the pretense of everything being fine with party A or party B, adoring and adorning party paraphernalia, rallying behind manifestos that never manifest, and the many political tunes we are composing, when actually Africans are decomposing, suffering, deteriorating in hunger. And see, the only solution to Africa's hunger is food for thought. Meanwhile, some, and again I said some politicians wanted to seem as though they are caught up in the heat, and so they try to look warm. Well, that's exactly what they are, lukewarm. And so I say, then let us stop this political division and subtraction, and let us try the national addition and multiplication. Cause that is the only way we can solve this equation simultaneously with other African nations. But first, we have to remove the log in our own eyes, because we seem to exist in fractions separated by denomination, tribe and roots, making me sometimes ask why. If only we knew that in Christ we are all equal. And see, Jesus is the answer. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. And so he's the only one who can stabilize the economy. So whoever takes up the mantle of leadership, let us pray that he will be led by him. Because the only impossible journey is the one we never began. And so, like I was saying early on, and this time I hope I end my statements. It's high time we experience a turnaround.
Every problem calls for a solution. There's so much salt of the earth here, but there's a need for water to activate that revolution. The map of Africa has an interesting shape. If you look through an atlas, you find it has no axis of symmetry, begging that if our future is to be perfect, it must definitely not fit into our history. Because if they become mirror images, what we will be watching in the end is a horror movie with serious graphics. The root problem stems from the fact that many are doing not what they have been called to do. This leaves them with no option than to endure rather than enjoy work. Therefore, they bear fruits of incompetence and unsatisfaction. That's why we have today the branch of study called Our Bleeding Country. So quick advice, after this, endeavor to locate your destiny and to it submit. If you've got to move any further, we must completely erase the notion that all you can be to be successful is an engineer, a banker, or a lawyer. Africa is known for hospitality, but that doesn't mean everyone must become a doctor. If it's about the honor, then I guess we can all be judges. On a more serious note, why wait to gain respect from a title or that of your child? Why live only to rewrite our parents' failed papers? God called us to originality. What then happened to impacts, gifts, peace, fulfillment, desire, talent, and ability? These are associated only with walking in your destiny. If what you have up your sleeves will not be found on Google because it doesn't have a name, it only means the world is waiting for you to outdoor it. That's what Mark did, and look, you can do the same. School seems to have become an avenue where you are reminded daily that once you can't memorize inapplicable theories and disproved facts for an exam means you can't make it in life. Wait, come to think of it, universities are handing out countless degrees, but why is that not affecting the developmental temperature of our state, but rather leaving us with the cold reality of a frozen economy? School is supposed to refine your talent so that you can affect the world positively with what God put inside of you while you make some money. I learned that from AVMB. Someone once quoted that the latest new dance craze is called the politician, and it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and then a side step. God works on earth through vessels. So who is cruising on our leadership? It's the pivot about which the continent swings. Now you understand if leadership is a main source of our worry. Interestingly, the African map looks like it has a huge head above its body. So what hurts us decides what we face. The hands that manage our affairs determine our fate. Else in the long run, there'll be long bills to foot and heavy cost of repairs to shoulder. And for us, it might just be too much to stomach. The kind of stress that wouldn't go away just because you do yoga. But the good news is the solution is right under our noses. After we go down on our knees in prayer, we've got to act. That's reality, and we need it in doses. If we are fasting for prosperity, then it means we have to be fast in dominating every field so that the future doesn't suffer. Politics may seem like a dirty game, but Christians cut out to play must take their rightful places, offer cleansing action, heading every sector. It is time for change, and it starts with us. Okay, maybe what I just said sounded cliche. Maybe our mama said that when they were like us, but there was no Facebook in their time. So it's quite necessary that we end at just liking the posts. Let's move a step ahead. Walk the talk. Tag, write a comment and share the status. We are the hope of Africa. Let it resound, because truly you are the only hope of Africa.
Like what you heard? Then like Stamped on facebook.com/stamped.sw. You can follow us at stamped_SW on both Twitter and Instagram.